What is going on, YouTube people? New Cards and Comics here. Today was going to do the Topps non-sports video. It's actually all recorded and ready to go, but we've got some drama. A little Alt versus PWCC, alleged shill bidding activities, tracking clients, looking at max bid stuff, all sorts of craziness going on. This story comes via Larry Holder over at The Athletic, who does have a little bit of a collectible section of the website, like Yahoo does, and collects kind of their own thing. But these major media outlets that cover the hobby broke this one on Wednesday afternoon, and there is some spicy, keyword here, allegations on this one from Alt to PWCC, because this happened during the PWCC reign prior to Fanatics coming in. So that's going to be something important to file away as well. We'll kind of run through some of this stuff and look at some of the things that they are talking about. Before we do that, though, shout out to today's video sponsor, the Penny Sleever. We've been talking about him a lot lately because of all the tariff nonsense. If you are still looking for some supplies, head on over to the Penny Sleever. You can get free shipping on any order $59 and up, and you could get 10% off with code NEOCARDS on your first order. You can find all that information in the video description if you are looking for penny sleeves, top loaders, team bags, semi-rigids, corner cut sleeves, vintage sleeves, you name it, they got it. So head on over to the Penny Sleever if you are looking for any sort of hobby supplies. All right, let's dig into AltV PWCC. So like I said at the top, let's kind of run through a few little things to keep in the back of our minds before the comment section goes wild. This is allegations, innocent until proven guilty. I know the comment section doesn't always believe in that, but this is allegedly. So that's asterisk point number one. Asterisk point number two. This is against PWCC, not Fanatics Collect. So, and the time frames that they reference are before Fanatics Collect took over. So just keep that in mind. I also believe, I don't know this for sure, but I think pretty much most of, if not all, the PWCC management team got wiped out when Fanatics took them over. Don't quote me on that, but I am pretty sure at least a large portion of them are no longer there. And I guess that actually kind of brings up an interesting point in all this, which I am not really sure. I guess we'll need clarification from Lesko or someone that actually knows what they're talking about. Who are they actually suing here? Because PWCC doesn't technically exist. Does the skeletons in the closet carry over to Fanatics? I don't know. And that's really kind of one of the main questions here, is who's at the other end of this lawsuit. I guess it's Fanatics Collect, formerly PWCC, but I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know how those things work. So with that filed away, let's go ahead and look at what this alleges, because there is some spicy stuff in here. Now, you might be wondering, why is Alt suing PWCC? Because Alt purchased a bunch of stuff on PWCC. They spent millions on PWCC buying cards. So they are basically a high dollar PWCC customer, and that is why this suit is coming out. What they are alleging is from 2021 to 2023 that PWCC essentially had teams of people shill bidding on items and using internal data to see what the max bid amount was on items, filtering that information to bidders and allowing them to shill up close to the max of true buyers. and basically maximize the potential value of the sale. Imagine being an auction house and saying, hey, I know super rich guy bid $4 million on that card. Hey, Shill Bid Squad, go get him. You could bid it up to 3.9 million safely with nothing to worry about. That's what they are, once again, alleging. We will see what happens in the legal process as this plays out. If this is true, this would be ugly. Now, the weird part about this is like I stated at the top, I don't know, like PWCC basically no longer exists. It's a dead company. In name anyway. It carried on to Fanatics Collect, but like I said, I don't know management wise that most of the same people are there. If this plays out, and we'll see what Paul Lesko has to say once he does his analysis of this. He's on vacation this week, so shout out to Paul Lesko. Have an enjoyable little vacation. We will get your take on this next week sometime. I don't know, like, if this ends up being true, would other high bidders, other high net worth buyers also go after PWCC? Would there be some sort of class action filings made against them for all bidders? That I don't know as well. Now, at the bottom here, they do Fanatics Collect / PWCC does come out and say, hey, no, we never did this. We don't currently do this. And we looked back into the PWCC era of the company and we didn't do this. I guess there has been ongoing conversations back and forth between the two companies, and PWCC / Fanatics Collect was show us your evidence, and Alt never did that. So Fanatics Collect, formerly PWCC, is essentially saying, I don't think you have any actual evidence showing this. If you do, then we can talk. But it sounds like it's just all going to court and will play itself out there. Obviously, PWCC, not the first time they have been in the line of fire with shill bidding accusations, as they were removed from eBay for that. Now, I've contended for a while, a big portion of the reason they were booted off of eBay was because they were launching their own selling platform, which eventually turned into Fanatics Collect. I still think that is the case. Was there shill bidding going on? Obviously, eBay thought so. PWCC really never fought it too hard, so clearly there was something going on. But I think a lot of that was driven by the fact that PWCC was starting to compete directly with eBay. And they're like, oh, okay, this is a very convenient way. We could just boot you off the platform before you formally launch your own platform. Because remember, that had basically come out that they were eventually going to launch their own marketplace. eBay got wind of it and then booted them before the transition fully went into effect, and kind of left things in limbo for a couple of months, kind of hurt PWCC a little bit. So I still think that's what went down there. That it was a convenient, I don't want to say excuse, because like I said, I do think there was probably shenanigans going on. Otherwise, PWCC would have fought back harder on that. But what the hell do I know? I don't work in any of those offices. This is just me speculating on what could have happened back then. So crazy stuff all around here. The other interesting thing that this does, if if you're Alt, because Alt is also an auction house essentially and a vaulting company, very similar to what PWCC / Fanatics Collect does, boy, you better have your ducks in a row. And like I said, I don't use Alt at all. I have never bought or sold a card on Alt. I have bought one card on PWCC when it was PWCC. I have bid on things on Fanatics Collect, but never actually won anything. There's actually a card this week I have my eyes on that I might be bidding on Fanatics Collect. But generally speaking, these are platforms that I keep an eye on, but I don't usually engage with super often. So that's a little bit of my own personal experience with these two. But if you're Alt, you better have your ducks in a row, because if someone thinks you did something shady, boy, oh boy, will they not hesitate to fire back now if anything is going weird on over there. So we will see how this all plays out. We'll see what Paul Lesko thinks about it, if he has any color to add to it. But I just wanted to make you all aware, once again, allegedly, PWCC back in the day was doing some very, very shady things, allegedly. As always, curious for your thoughts and comments down below. We will catch you on the next one. Peace.